Hey guys, it's Steve from Boulder Sports Clinic. Want to give you a quick rundown on what is foam rolling, how to know when to foam roll, etc. Foam rolling is a way to really help release tightness, decrease some sensation in muscles. How do I know if I need to foam roll? Well, generally if you're in here, and we've sent you this video, that's one key. But if you're super tight, if you're feeling like you're doing repetitive motions a lot of times, those muscles typically adapt to whatever you've been doing. Foam rolling is just a nice way to sort of take care of the tissues, make sure they're healing the way they should, and they're not going to get a bunch of adhesion, scar tissue, that kind of thing, that's going to start to affect performance of the muscle or your mobility, flexibility, that kind of stuff. What should I use? Well, obviously you could use a foam roller, and there's different sizes, shapes, ones with little bumpies, ones that are smooth and foam, ones that are made of PVC, and then you also could use ball, like a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, a dog toy ball, something round and firm, or you could use one of these cool rad rollers that's two lacrosse balls just stuck together. Why would I use one versus the other is generally about where you're doing it and what you're trying to accomplish. The principles of foam rolling is the size, the diameter of the object, and the firmness dictate intensity. So if I have something that is smaller, like a ball, that's a more firm ball, like a lacrosse ball, the contact patch is going to feel more like a thumb really getting into a muscle. Now this could be really helpful for, I want either more pressure or I'm trying to get into an area that's smaller. If I'm using something more like this foam roller, it's got a really broad contact patch. So, it's gonna feel more like this kind of a thing, which is helpful for broad strokes on things versus this being more like pinpointed. So I've determined that I want to foam roll in my calf. It's a bigger area, so I'm gonna start by using my foam roller. What we're gonna do is start with the bigger implement. I'm gonna put one leg on there. If I want more pressure, I can put the other leg on top of it. I'm looking for spots that are sore, that feel like, whoa, that's a good spot. If I find something like that, I'm going to hold the pressure there for a second. I'm gonna try and breathe through it and relax. And then I'm going to move my ankle. The idea is I'm scanning through, I'm finding that one spot, and then I'm pulling the tissue away from that spot. I'm trying to break up that knot. Then I'm gonna go back to scanning. If it feels like it's more higher than a 3, 4, 5 out of 10, that's probably too much. I think at that point you're not going to really relax into it, you're not really going to get as much out of it, or you're on a spot maybe you shouldn't be. If you feel nervy, if it feels zingy down your leg, that's also not a good sign. You're probably doing too much. I'm going to spend maybe 45 seconds to a minute scanning through, and then I'll go to the other side. We don't need to spend 45 minutes doing this. It's better to do more frequency, less duration. Now I want a little more pressure. It doesn't feel like it's quite as intense as I'd like it, or I can't find any spots that are really sore. Well, now I'm gonna step up my game and use the lacrosse ball. And now it's just a more focal spot, so it's a little more intense. Same principles. So that's the general overview of how to use either of these tools. We have separate videos for how to foam roll the upper body or the lower body. So if you're looking for those specific videos, click through to some of those other things and learn a little bit more.